say make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, make money, money, money. Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. Survival of the fittest, you can sink or swim. I've been broke, I ain't never going back again. I need some C notes, some cheddar, and a stack of ends. I need a bowl of dough, I don't need no Facebook friends. I need a pack of them snacks, a handful of Fetty Wops, a rubber band on my greenbacks. Look, dawg, don't be playing.
Turn off this music here. Happy Wednesday, guys. Looks like we might get some action this morning. We haven't caught action on the stream and God knows when. The only action that we have, we didn't catch any of it. We didn't catch any of it. So 25,841, guys. We'll talk a little bit about the short-term chart for Bitcoin today. And then I want to actually look at a little bit closer to ETH. As we know, ETH is at a pretty critical level on its chart. And maybe ETH has given us a little bit of clue on what is coming for BT Sizzle. All right, so we'll talk about that today. But hope everyone's having a fantastic week, guys. There's not much going on this week. We're back to the crab market, bro. We're back to that crab market. Powell speak in the next 2 days. So maybe we get some action from Powell speak in the next 2 days. But let's talk a little bit about BTC. And we talked a little bit about the RSI yesterday and how it's oversold. And we'll talk about that if that means we're going to get a little bit of a short-term bounce, which I still think is a possibility that we get a little bit of a bounce. The question is, will that bounce just be a retrace before a bigger dump? Or will it be a bounce that takes us higher? That's the big question that we're going to talk about today. Felipe! Jordan already on his 17th coffee this morning? Bro, I'm on coffee number 1, man. I got the big Dunkin' coffee, man. We're back on the Dunkin' grind. You guys know I always change my coffee choice, right? So I was making my own coffee. Then I was doing the instant coffee for a little bit. You guys remember back in the days we were doing the Speedway coffee and the Dunkin' coffee. Now we're back to the Dunkin' coffee. I cannot choose the coffee that I want. I honestly, I switch my mind. Sometimes I drink it black. Sometimes I drink it with milk. Sometimes I drink it with cream. Sometimes I get it with a little bit of squirt. It sounds so wrong. A little bit of, what's it called? Sometimes I get the little hazelnut squirt in there. I can't choose the coffee that I want, man. I'm so indecisive. I'm like a teenage girl who is on her period. You know what I mean? Like, not just a teenage girl, but a teenage girl who might be on her period. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Rant alert.
Let's do this. Wayne's on coffee number 2. Brett said, Jordan, have you bought Render yet? I'm still being patient. I'm being patient on Render, Brett. I am not going to succumb to the FOMO of the red candles. I get FOMO for red candles, but I have not succumbed to the FOMO on Render yet. We'll talk about that today. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin in the short term. So you guys see, I just marked out the range. So like when we dumped, I marked out the range low. And then when we got that first initial bounce, I marked out that range high. So the range high is like 26.8, range low is 25.2. We've just been in the middle of the range, so there's not much going on in here. Now, what I think is going to happen, and this is just based off of a retrace and maybe some type of short squeeze. As, you know, obviously Bitcoin chart looks like, it looks like doo-doo. But a lot of times when it looks like doo-doo, you'll see some type of short squeeze. Now, the short squeeze could just be a retrace. And we talked a little bit about that yesterday. But we'll talk about this. So as it stands right now, right here is typically when Bitcoin looks weak. And you see a lot of shorts. What I personally think is going to happen is Bitcoin's going to make one more spike to the low. And could actually even break this low. Maybe make some type of bullish divergence where it has a lower low, higher low. And then try to come back up to the upside based off of, I don't know, something. But that also goes into like the 2-day chart. All right, we talked about how, okay, Bitcoin's just going to sit right here on the 2-day chart. You know, we're oversold, which, you know, doesn't always mean the low is in. What I mean by low is like the macro low, the low where we're not going back to again. But could just be a local low, right? So the 2-day chart. We look back, we actually haven't been oversold on this since June, which also marked a low. May, which also marked a local low before a little bit of a retrace. And we also had back in January when the 2-day got oversold. That also marked a local low. So I still think like a retrace makes some sense. And we sort of said this, like, is the retrace going to be the bounce that we're all looking for, or is it the retrace? You know what I'm saying? So short term, I still think we get a little bit of a bounce. And it could just be coming up to like 27K just to fill in some of this inequality on the chart. And then we kind of go from there. But I am looking for a bounce in the short term. The bigger picture, as we sort of been saying, is, you know, 20. I would even stretch it. I mean, I'm going to say 25.2. Any type of weekly close below 25.2, we've sort of said, okay, that invalidates what we've been sort of talking about this year, is Bitcoin going back to the retracement levels in the second year of the cycle, right? Typically, it goes to the retracement levels. If it broke 25.2, I would say that it's going to be a tough time for us to get up there by the end of this year. And then I would actually be looking for a test of this trend line on the bigger picture, which is this huge trend line right here, which we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bounces on the weekly time frame, right? That's if we break 25.2 on a weekly close. I'd be looking for a test of this, which right now, if we went straight down this week, right, would put us at 21,400. That's where that would put us. What are you eating over there? You're saying,
A fresh roll.
A fresh roll? A fresh roll, yes. Can you give me a fresh roll? Guys, I'm going to eat a fresh roll from the bakery right in front of you guys. This is the most bullish thing that we've seen in weeks.
No, I only have one. You can only have a little bit.
Oh, I just want a bite.
Oh, yeah.
Feed it. Wow.
You need the meat.
Holy sh... Holy... Holy roll. We're playing the pump song on the roll. Holy crap. That was delicious. Jesus. There's nothing better than a fresh roll, guys. We all know this. There's nothing better than some fresh bread, especially if it's hot and it's got some butter on it. Oh. Honestly, if I could eat that every day and not get fat, I would. I would just eat bread. I love bread. I would literally just eat bread, like probably 10 rolls a day if I could. But unfortunately, you can't do that, or you start looking like Jabba. Or actually, I can't say that nowadays. The guy from Austin Powers, Fat B. Well, we'll call him Fat B. Okay, I don't know. I don't even know. I said that thing in 2023. I don't even know what words you can say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if I can say the F word now. That's probably inappropriate. All right, so like I said, 25.2, we break that. You know, obviously, this has been a trend line that we've sort of looked at. I mean, well, that we've been looking at, right? So you can get wicks below, but we have not got a weekly close below this trend line since, and we have to go back to 2017, right? So that's the level I'm looking at if we start really breaking 25.2. Right, on a weekly close, which is cool. And I told you guys, I'm looking at that as an opportunity that we weren't sure what we're going to get, right? But an opportunity that I don't mind, because, as always, if you're in this for the bigger picture, I sort of keep saying this every day, you weren't going to sell this year anyways. Like, no matter what Bitcoin did, you guys aren't in this for 20, 30%. I know you guys, okay? You would just go invest in the stock market if you were in this market for a 30, 40, 50% gain. Okay, most of you guys are in this for, crypto's the risky market. It comes with risk to the downside or risk to the upside. You wouldn't be in this market if you were just in this for 50%, right? You'd be lying to yourself if that was the case, right? So I've always said this, does it matter if Bitcoin's at 29K or it wicks down to 20K, right? Not really, because at the end of the day, you weren't going to be selling at any of those levels anyways. Just be honest with yourself. So, any type of lower prices, like especially down close to this trend line or any wick below, I'm looking at it as sort of a sort of a COVID crash type scenario where you're just going to see mass capitulation everywhere, everyone calling for 10K again, right? So anything like that would be great. Once again, I don't know if we're going to go there. I have no way to know. I would take that as a good thing if we actually did go there, because I'm looking to stack more BTC, to be quite honest. I just don't want to do it at high prices. I prefer it after we got a little capitulation. I'll buy the capitulators Bitcoin, right? So that's that. Like I said, short term though, I still think short term, we could see a little bit of a retracement back up. So a little bit of a retracement. We could just like back test the bull market support band, flip down, boom, hit the trend line, something like that. Okay. If we get a weekly close back above the bull market support band, that's when I start getting a little bit more bullish. And what I mean by bullish is, okay, we get a weekly close back above the bull market support band. I think we can start talking about Bitcoin testing the 31K level again. But until then, we got to stay just a little bit cautious at this level, right? That's all I'm saying. Other than that, it's really enough Bitcoin talk. The other thing is, the hash ribbons buy signal, right? We've talked about this a few times. It's had, I think, 15 iterations, hasn't been wrong. This is the one time where, obviously, we've talked about sometimes how you can get that buy signal and get 1-2 red weeks before you go up. This would be around the time, especially going into next week, would be around the time where we'd want to see some green. Or at least Bitcoin just continuing to show some strength at this 26K level, going into these next couple weeks, if this is going to play out again. Because like we said, we've seen some times where if we go down to like January 2019, right? So you get the buy signal. You did get a massive drop on that buy signal day. See that? Boom. Bitcoin dropped on that week, Bitcoin dropped 15%. Very similar to actually what we did last week. Right, 15% drop. Then we actually went down 1, 2, 3 more weeks. Right, we actually went down another 6%. Right, before finding a low at this trend line. Right, so you can kind of wiggle around in here. I think if this is going to play out again, which once again, obviously there might be a time where this doesn't play out. Right, no indicators 100%, and honestly, if an indicator was continue to just be 100%, everyone will catch on and eventually it wouldn't work, right? I mean, that's just the nature of the situation. So we're waiting, right? We're seeing if this is going to play out again. Once again, I'd have to see Bitcoin get back above the bull market support band on a weekly close, which is anything above 28.3 before I got any type of confidence in that happening. But there's always that possibility too. So keep an eye on that. Let's see. I am like Papa. Nice, dude. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Link said $100 chain link is FUD. Someday. I'm with you, Link Marine. $100 chain link, I think is FUD as well. I think chain link should already be $100. To be quite honest. But hey, you want to give me the range lows to accumulate some link again? Let's go, man. Let's go. I'm seeing what you guys are saying in the chat. Jesus said it won't play out because I'm waiting for it to happen. Jesus, no! I feel like their universe is always like that. It's like, all right, you find this thing that's worked, and then it works now. And then the universe says, okay, the universe comes out of nowhere and he's like, okay, he knows it works. It's time to make it not work now. It's like the universe is against you. It happens all the time. I always feel like that. Like sometimes when I was bored, I would just look through some indicators and try to figure out, okay, which one of these indicators has marked bottoms before on the big time frames. And you might find one, right? You might find one that's marked the last 10 lows. But then, okay, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to use this the next time Bitcoin's capitulating or dumping and try to find a low. Indicator flashes. And you're like, this is it. It's worked 10 times in a row. It's going to work at 11 times. Statistical odds is in my favor. Nope. And then it just dumps lower. It never fails. It never fails. I feel like I always said, guys, we live in a simulation. The simulation tests you. I swear it does. I swear it does. Everything that you see and is in front of you is put in there for a certain reason. I swear to God. Anyways, I'm ranting about nothing now. Let's see. Waiting for the sweep of the ADA lows. The sweep of the ADA lows. Me too. I'm waiting for this. Any type of L1s. Honestly, I'm not really looking to buy any of the L1s. You guys know why. I'm not going to go over my whole situation again. But for the L1s, like if I was looking to buy, I'd be waiting for that capitulation to sweep the lows, which I still think is coming. Like I said, does it happen? Like if Bitcoin, so in the short term, we said, okay, Bitcoin might sweep these lows one more time here, like this, and then go for a short squeeze. If it does something like this, this is where you might see maybe that sort of bigger dip on the altcoin market, right? This is where you might see that. So just watch out for that. Anyways, let's go look at ETH, because ETH is what I want to talk about today. Is ETH showing some clues for the Bitcoin chart? Let's see. All right, so ETH, once again, we have the three major lows on ETH in this uptrend. We have June, we have November, and we have what we just put in 2 weeks ago. Okay, forms a perfect trend line. There we go. Okay, the trend line's not important, but it's there to show you what I'm trying to say here. So if you look at this, and once again, we kind of look at, I actually want to go to the 2-day chart on this as well. We kind of look at this as, the same way we look at Bitcoin, where you're in this weird spot where you sort of got this, hit to the high, low, hit to the high, coming back down. And you're sitting right at that neckline right here, right? That's that dotted line is the neckline of this sort of, you call it M formation, double top, whatever you want to call it, right? You're sort of sitting right here, but you also bounce up this trend line. So you're in this weird little spot. Very, very weird little spot. But what I want to notice about this, and it's weird because this is just a weird chart, right? So you're at hypothetical support for Ethereum. You've also filled this. So this was a vector candle right here. This March candle that got a big impulse up. This was a vector candle that we never filled, up to this point, right? We got this wick down. We've now filled that. And if you look at it, now the Ethereum chart on the 2-day, 3-day, you filled in all the inequalities on the chart. And you also bounced off this support. That's not really the important thing, though. I just want to kind of show you the context on the USD chart. If you go over to ETH Bitcoin now, and this is a chart we've talked about a million times, like this just keeps coming down in a falling wedge. And you guys know my favorite chart or my favorite pattern, and really the only pattern that I really enjoy using for any type of bigger picture outlook is the wedges, right? And I've had times where I doubted the wedge, and I just thought it didn't make any sense. Like the market looks like this, it looks like shit. How's a falling wedge going to play out to the upside? And somehow, I know it's like a 69% chance, but I find that these tend to play out, higher than 69%. And honestly, they play out a lot, most of the time, actually. So we've been watching this, and this is slowly grinded lower in this, slowly grinded lower. And we've been sitting at the 702 and 618 retracements on ETH Bitcoin. We've been sitting there now since June, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks just sitting at these retracement levels. Not breaking lower, right? Building a little bit of a base here at the golden pocket. So the thing is, and what I find weird, and I don't know if it's just because ETH has been held up like a rock in the bear market. It could just mean Bitcoin dumps and ETH dumps less. But when I see something like this, and listen, I could be wrong on this too. This could break to the downside. But when I see something like this, if my thesis, I'm like a scientist here. I hate when I say thesis. I sound so smart. I don't like sounding that smart. My thesis or my hypothesis. I just need to put on some glasses, and then I'm a scientist, guys. Then I'm a nice scientist. I would be a horrible scientist. I would get so bored with that stuff. Anyways, if this starts breaking up like this, right? And this is just hypothetical, right? If this starts breaking up like this, but like, what happens to the ETH USD chart? You know, it's very hard for me to believe that Bitcoin would dump on USD and you would see ETH BTC break to the upside. I don't know. And that's the one thing that's confusing me right now. And maybe it shouldn't confuse me. Maybe I'm thinking about it too hard. Maybe it's just because ETH is now deflationary. And maybe it's just holding up better than Bitcoin, which it did. On that capitulation 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin actually capitulated more after that weekly close, right? So maybe I'm just overthinking it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking, right? But this is telling me that I should be expecting this to bounce higher. Maybe not like a massive, like, big green dildo, but maybe just like a chop higher. I don't know. I find it hard to believe if I think in Bitcoin is going to go significantly lower and hold there, right? And I'm talking like maybe dump to 20K and just stop there without any type of bounce, that you would see this move up, you know, or you would see ETH USD break significantly lower. I don't know. And like I said, that's one of the things that's keeping me up. And it's very, if you actually go back to this, back down here, you guys remember this chart? Back down in 2018, 2019, and 2020, right? So this ETH USD chart, or ETH Bitcoin chart, we were kind of doing a similar thing where we kind of had like this first initial low, we came up, we made a lower low, we came up, we made a lower low, then we came up again, up here, and then we kind of like, see how we kind of bled down for a long time, and we bled down for like 7 months here, all the way back down, right where you had support of that first low, right? So we came up, and see how we've been bleeding down here for about a year. And now we're like right back where we had support on that first low on this, right? So it's a weird chart, man. It's a weird chart. I'm getting a lot of these vibes, not these vibes. I know like this is the vibe everyone's getting here. I'm getting this, just higher, right? But we'll see. We'll see. And obviously from there, obviously ETH BTC went up. Question is, will it again, right? We'll find out, fellas. But like I said, something different to talk about today, as we're just waiting for Bitcoin's next move. Like I said, if I had to guess, I think it's going to spike these lows one more time, make a lower low, come back up, short squeeze. How high does the short squeeze go? Depends how many people are shorting. You know, something tells me that, I don't know, I feel like people are scared to short. People are scared to short and long at the moment. I feel like no one's really leverage trading at the moment. So, I mean, if we do get some type of short squeeze, maybe it's not a huge short squeeze. But I'm expecting some type of short squeeze just to squeeze out the late shorts here. People trying to short this breakdown, just a straight breakdown down. We come up, take those guys out. And then from there, that's the big question. Is any type of squeeze, can we get back above the bull market support band? If we don't, well, then it's probably just a retracement before, you know, coming back down and testing the lows again, right? Polygon Rocker said, I'm going to short in Matic. Oh, yeah, dude, Matic has been one of the best ones to short, man. Matic has been one of the best altcoins to short, bro. That's why I don't really talk about Matic too often, just because I've talked about this. I think Matic is one of those that, you guys know I'm a big, you know, the other L2s I love, because I think those ones are undervalued, but I think Matic is slightly overvalued at this moment. And that's why you've seen Matic kind of just been very, very weak, really since the beginning of this year, right? So, because you've had the other ones come out. You've had Optimism come out. You've had Arbitrum come out. And ever since then, Matic has just been slow bleeding down, right? From 150 down to 50. And I think it's going to continue to be weak, just because it has so many competitors now in that L2 space. You know, and that's my take. Like I would rather have optimism or arbitrum than Matic, just because I think Matic, from a, you know, it has competitors that it didn't have in the last poll, or in previously, right? So that's the way I'm looking at Matic. Not gonna say Matic is gonna shit the bed, right? It probably shit the bed in the short term, to be honest. But that's the way I'm looking at Matic. Let's see. Can ETH BTC be a diamond bat? A diamond battered? A battered? Is that a new pattern? The bat? I know the bat is actually a pattern, though. The bat is a pattern. Cuckoo! I love all the patterns that are named off animals. What's another one that's named off animal? There's the bat. There's the what's another animal? There's a bunch of animal ones, no? Why can't I think of any right now? I can't think of any right now. I know the bat is one. Oh, the dragon. The dragon. I know the dragon's one too. There's got to be other ones too. Let's see. Drew said, bro, you know as well as I do that the new coins do way better than the next cycle. I know that, Drew. I said that multiple times. The new coins do better. The new coins do better. Why? Because the old coins, they've already been through that hype cycle. Everyone already knows what they do. But when a new coin comes out with this new groundbreaking crypto technology, right? When really it's not groundbreaking, to be honest. Everyone likes to jump on that shit. And that's fine. We take advantage of that as investors. So that's what we do. We take advantage of people getting hyped. You know, it's as simple as that. But yeah, I mean, that's always been the case. Since 2017, that the newer coins tend to do better. There's very few exceptions. Bitcoin, ETH, Cardano, and Doge are like the 4 coins that made new all-time highs 2 cycles in a row. Other than that, go back to 2017 top altcoins list. You're not going to find any of those shits in the top 20 anymore, besides Litecoin. But Litecoin didn't make a new all-time high last cycle either, right? Litecoin didn't. All the top ones, you know? And people don't like hearing that. Why? Because typically what happens is people DCA into the old ones in the beginning of the bear. So they're holding the old ones, new ones comes out, and then, you know, that's typically, you know, what kind of happens. But it is true. It is true. It is true. And I know no one likes hearing that, and I don't make friends saying that, you know? You know what I mean? Like, that's not so... People like to hear what they want to hear, right? And if you say something they disagree with, they get mad. But I agree with you, Drew. I agree with you, man. I agree with you, dude. I totally do. That's why some of the low cap alts that I'm DCAing into are new ones, right? I talked about a few of them, right? You guys could do your own research on those, on some of these, like NXRA, new coin that came out in March. Look it up. Good shit. RDNT, good one that came out back in April. Actually coming down to test the lows again, which is nice. TIG, the exchange, kind of like GMX, decentralized exchanges I'm big on, came out. Check it out. Like I said, do your own research on these. But, you know, a lot of the new ones are the ones that I'm looking to get into. And then obviously like Arbitrum, Optimism, you know, and there's some ones that are, you know, from last cycle that I still like just because they have narratives, like Render. I want to get Render a little bit lower here. I've been very patient. I'm going to continue to be patient on this one. Render, I want to buy lower because I believe in AI, and I think the initial AI hype has worn off a little bit, but the AI hype will come back again. Okay, AI is not going anywhere. AI is the future. So if people, this is what typically what happens is people get overhyped. Actually, I wouldn't even say overhyped. I think there's a reason to be overhyped on AI, but the first initial hype, and then all of a sudden prices aren't going up on AI related things. So people get bored and they sell off. I want to take advantage of the people getting bored and selling off on the AI hype, because the AI hype will come back. It's just in a little sleeping phase. By the way, as far as AI hype, Nvidia earnings are today. So make sure you're looking out for that. Make sure you're looking out for that, because we know Nvidia is the leader of the AI space, right? So make sure you're looking out for that. If they have good earnings, you're going to see AI-related things do well. If they have bad earnings, you're going to see AI-related things probably dump. I know AI is the future, so I actually hope that Nvidia has bad earnings today. So, because I actually want to buy stuff lower, because I know that AI is going to change the world. So I wouldn't mind a little bit of a dumperoni on the AI-related stocks and AI-related cryptos, which I've been waiting for. Oh, Bitcoin, come on, man. Stop trying to bait longs here. We know that you're looking to make another low. Stop trying to bait longs, bro. Right? People ain't falling for your little long baiters, man. We ain't falling for those, man. Come on, dude. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, man. Redonkulous, if you ask me. Absolutely redonkulous. Let's see. Oh, markets are open. Markets are open. Thank you, Hamilton.
Rant alert.
We'll play the daily close. Why not? Oh my god, it's loud.
The daily close.
That's freaking loud, fellas. Holy shit. Alright, who's in here? Joey Silva, so you're buying FET and Render? FET, I like Render. I like the GPUs, man. The obviously we know as stocks, right? Nvidia, AMD, those stocks have been going nuts. So I like Render's my play. All right, I don't want to be too over diversified. I already am. I already freaking am. So, you know, at some point I'll look to consolidate some of my holdings here. But, you know, obviously right now I don't want to be buying like freaking 50 different alts. You know? Top of the morning, Knucklebuster. What's up, bro? Tony said Near is in the box lower. Yeah, all the L1s, man. Listen, like I said earlier, you guys do, like I said, I told you guys, I'm not looking to buy any of these, okay? But if you were interested in these other L1s, you know, Near's made a new low. Near has made her new low, and it's back kind of at that previous low. So now is where I want to find some strength, right? You haven't really found the strength yet. For me, and just how I'm just looking at the market kind of like this. Let's look at some other ones. Like ADA hasn't spiked that low yet. I think ADA's gonna spike this low, like this. AVAX is already doing it. See, we talked about this about AVAX last week. AVAX is already spiking the low. This is where people start capitulating, right? You break support. Oh my god! Ah!
Bitcoin's going to 10K.
You break support. Retail starts capitulating. You start getting the Bank of Canada guy saying,
basically, Bitcoin is clearly a scam. Cryptocurrency is clearly an idiot with no common sense. And scientifically speaking, according to a study at the Bank of Canada, more people who are financially illiterate invest in Bitcoin.
all right, AVAX is breaking the low. This is where you see capitulation. So, like I said, I'm looking for that candle that you can smell the fear on people, right? Smell the fear. And then fear comes in, people smell it, right? Big money comes in, buys up that from the fearful plebs on the break of support, which you're already getting right now, which is cool. And then what's another one? We talked about Matic. What's another one that's kind of like that? I'm trying to look at through some of these charts. VeChain's kind of like that too. See VeChain? I want to see VeChain. Walk.
Bitcoin's going to 10K.
Right? Let's sell out on the break of support, right? And you get laddered in there. That's what I'm looking for here, man. That is what I'm looking for. That. Because I think right now, I've sort of said this. I don't sense. I sense a little bit of. I still sense more boredom than fear. Right. I still sense more boredom than fear at the moment. Which, you know, always. I want to. For me to be confident in these ones, all right, there's still some that I'm confident in, but like for me to be confident on these ones, these L1s, they've just been so weak, man. Like they've been so freaking weak. They've just been selling off all year. For me to be confident on these ones, I need to smell the fear. I need people to I need people saying in the chat, like, because I don't see this yet. I need people saying like, Ethereum is the only L1 that I want to be in. Now, I've said that for a long time, but I want to see that as the consensus view. Is Ethereum is the only L1 that's worth holding. I don't see that yet. I don't see that yet. I want to see people puke in their positions. And like I said, I don't quite see that yet on this. But we didn't see that last cycle because Ethereum was kind of like these other ones last cycle, where Ethereum was shit in the bear. You haven't really seen that this time. So it's a little bit different, man. But I'm waiting for the time where everyone is just like, I'm done with all these other ones. If I want L1 exposure, I'm going with ETH, and that's it. I don't smell that yet, dude. Elon's tweet about Doge. Elon tweeted about Doge. You guys, he has no relevance on Doge. The only way, and actually, even if X, I call it X now, even if X did something with Doge, I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Think about it. How many rumors and stuff in the past year has Doge been in? Where's Doge now? At the low. You know, it's completely irrelevant. Don't get caught up in those tweet hypes, man. Those are just there to get you sucked liquidity. Just suck your liquidity out. Because again, if you want to get in Doge, get in at the lows. Don't wait for the tweet. Once the tweet is out, it's already too late. Because all these big money people have bots that literally scan Elon's Twitter, right? Look for Doge pictures, anything like that. And as soon as he tweets out something about a dog, all those bots, algorithms, instantly buy Doge. And by that point, you ain't gonna long before these freaking algorithms do. You're just gonna be the exit liquidity. It's already too late at that point. Don't rage at me. And that goes with any news, guys. Any news related thing. Don't FOMO based off news. Because there's gonna be bots and algorithms that are front running you. Because they do it instantly. They scan news articles, look for bullish things. As soon as it comes out, boom. Why do you think news comes out and instantly things start moving? You think it's humans just like, oh my god, news, boom. No, like that's impossible. It's because nowadays there's so much technology that, you know, you're just gonna have these algos and bots just instantly buying when there's news. You ain't gonna front run these guys, you know? That's why any type of news related thing, you're already too late. Bad news, if you're looking to sell bad news, you're already too late. If you're looking to buy good news, you're already too late. You know? You ain't gonna do it, man. You ain't gonna do it. Don't rage at me. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. You're always coming in here, man. Every single freaking morning you come in here, you gift one of those memberships, bro. You're insane. You're insane, bro. Who won, by the way? Javier won. Nice, Javier. Nice, dude. I like to see you green, man. Let's see. Drew said, anyone want to go to work for me? Not really, Drew. I'll pass. I'll pass on that, man. I'll pass on that, man. Drew, go do your hiking, man. Okay, we need you to go do your hiking, man. Let's see. I want Jordan as the new ex-CEO. I would never want to be that, man. Because, you know, I would never want to be a social media CEO because I hate social media, right? I can't. I think, you know, social media is. I could read about this forever. I think social media has more negatives than it does positives. I've always said that. Yeah, it's great for spreading. I mean, you could also say this is a negative too. It's great for spreading news and people connecting with each other. But, you know, my argument is, are you really connecting with someone on social media? No, you're not. You're not really connecting with that person. And same kind of thing with, huh?
You connected with me.
I'm talking about, like, you know, posting on Twitter and shit. I'm not talking about, like, messaging. I'm talking, like, putting posts on there and people liking your pictures and this shit. Like, that's not real. That's not real, like, engaging with humans. It's bullshit. And same time with the news. Like, it's great we can get news faster, but, guys, 90% of the news is fake, and you're just getting told lies. Is it really helping you? Honestly, it's not. It's not. You could make an argument that all technology is bad. You could. You seriously could, man. Let's see. I have to finish a job. Finish it up, Drew. You finish that shit up, and this weekend, you go and do your rock climbing, bro. That's what you need to do. Basta, let's get that Nvidia earnings bounce. I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting, bro. Nvidia is the biggest tech earnings out of all the companies in the world. It is the biggest one. Why? Because they started this run with their AI shit, right? So the Nvidia earnings are huge today. Huge for basically the tech stocks. Very, very big, right? All the ones that have something to do with AI, right? They get Tesla, Meta, all these ones. The earnings today for Nvidia are huge, and obviously they're big for the tech stocks. They're big for Bitcoin, because if the tech stocks get a bounce, that means the Nasdaq's going to get a bounce, which means Bitcoin at least should show maybe a little bit of strength, which it always rocky with Bitcoin, right? Because with Bitcoin, there could be something else going on behind the scenes, which we've seen before. But yeah, that's big. There's a lot of big things. Nvidia earnings, I think the biggest things this week are Nvidia earnings today. And we have Jackson Hole tomorrow, where Powell's going to be speaking for 2 days at Jackson Hole. And I think that's a lot of the fear in the market right now is Nvidia earnings. Everyone's scared if they have bad earnings, and the AI hype was wrong, and their guidance is bad, stocks are going to crumble. You know what I mean? And on the flip side, Jackson Hole last year was when the market really started to tank, because Powell was like freaking hawkish. I hate saying hawkish. I'll just say bearish. I don't know why people say hawkish, and I'm just going to say bearish. Powell was like just bearish as shit at Jackson Hole last year, so people are afraid of that. That's tomorrow and Friday. So but the good thing is after this week, there's really not much else. There's really not much else. And I think that the next biggest thing after that is the BlackRock ETF deadline, which I believe is on September 2nd. That's kind of the next big thing we have to look forward to is the BlackRock ETF deadline, September 2nd. We're looking at 9 days. 9 days to that, man. Powell's going to jack our holes tomorrow. I mean, I think, what is he going to say that he hasn't already said? Right? I mean, he says the same damn thing every time. People eat it up. He says the same damn thing. He says, we haven't gotten to our... Here we go, ready? This is what he says. We haven't gotten to our 2% target of inflation yet. Until we get in 2% inflation, we must continue. And we may have to keep rates higher for longer. And we might have to have the possibility of hiking rates again. He's going to keep saying that until we get to the 2%. I don't know why people eat it up every time like he's going to say something different. He says the same damn thing every time. I can't even watch him anymore. There's people like, oh, what's Powell going to say today? He says the same damn thing. I don't understand, you know. It is what it is. He says the same damn thing every single time. You know what I mean? And he's going to keep saying the same damn thing. Oh, Lord. Mike said moonbound on September 2nd. Got it. Nice, man. I don't know. That's the big thing for me is the BlackRock ETF deadline, right? Now, like if we want some hopium, okay, and we can definitely come up with hopium because there's a hopium scenario here. The hopium scenario is for the next 9 days. All right, we just kind of chop, right? We know we got the grayscale case against the SEC, which should, on average, it should be completed right now. But every Tuesday and Friday, we have to look out for this. This is a big thing here. Grayscale versus SEC. Because if Grayscale wins that case against the SEC, they're going to have to approve the spot ETF. Right? You know what I'm saying? So this is the big one. This is the big daddy here. And that's what we have to look out for every Tuesday and Friday. I think that the hopium and the big one would be, okay, BlackRock's ETF deadline is September 2nd. The hopium is that this case gets settled before September 2nd, right? And Grayscale wins the case against the SEC before September 2nd. And then you got the BlackRock ETF on September 2nd, which gets approved, right? That's kind of the hopium in the short term here, where this is maybe a sort of controlled demolition of the Bitcoin price to get it as low as possible before the ETF decisions, right? Because why like, if Grayscale is going to be having to pick up some BTC because their customer, or if BlackRock's going to have to be buying some Bitcoin because their customers are going to be wanting it, why not try to control demolition the Bitcoin price as low as they can get it beforehand, right? Would make some sense. That's kind of the hopium in the short term, which I don't think is impossible, because a lot of experts on these cases, I'm not an expert, I'm just telling what I've heard, is that this Grayscale case should be settled soon, right? This is not one that should be like extended out wicked far. So we'll see, man. We shall see, but that is the hopium in the short term, which like I said is not terribly like moon boyish. I think that's definitely a possibility, but it'll be interesting, man. The next day, so it didn't happen yesterday, so that could happen on Friday. So we have the next date that could possibly come out was Friday. So not today, not tomorrow, Friday. You know, we live in a modest cabin on the river. Jordan never liked watching pal streams. I hate that shit, man. He just says the same thing, and people eat it up. It's crazy, man. Let's see. I saw that Y-Files AI video. So insane. Thank you, Blaze. Listen, everyone thinks it's crazy. Remember when I talked about that, Blaze? And everyone in the chat, like, Jordan, you're crazy. Everyone that I've seen that's watched that AI Y-Files video has all said that it's insane. I can see why you think that. No one after watching that video doesn't get what I've been saying about AI. So I've told you guys this. If you don't believe the whole AI is going to change the world type thing, and possibly in a negative way, watch the Y-Files video, AI Apocalypse, and you will get it. It'll change your whole view on AI. I'm telling you. Do it. Even Mike did that. Mike, what's wrong, buddy? He just in the chat saying when today. What's wrong, buddy? What the heck is going on? Bath, what is going on in the chat? Good morning. Good morning, my friend. What is going on in the chat, man? I don't smell any moisture. I don't smell any moisture. I smell my sweet, sweet, sweet Dunkin' coffee. That's what I smell today, fellas. Oh, John, what's up, buddy? John said gun go down. I've sort of said this. In my opinion, I guess when I'm expecting a little bit of a retrace here. The big question is the retrace going to be a lower low. You know, right? So like this is the short-term price action. I think they're just kind of bait and longs right now. I think what would make sense is kind of a dip, one more dip, and then a retrace. The question is we just going to get a retrace to 27K, Are we going to retrace to the bull market support band and get rejected? That's the big question. But like I said, based off of like where, just based off history of where the 2-day RSI is, I would expect at least a retracement back up. So, but the question is it a retracement or is that the local low? That's the question. For that, we'll have to find out and see what kind of Bitcoin reacts to higher prices, But something like this is what I'm expecting here, right? Is Bitcoin's kind of just chilling here. We got, what's stock market? Stock market opened 20 minutes ago. Let's see what we got. Stocks so far on the day. We got futures that are up. Dollar's up a little bit. But we got Nvidia earnings tonight. Nvidia earnings, if they're good, will give a bounce on the NASDAQ and will probably that'll probably help Bitcoin give a little bit of a push. Like this, But we'll see. We'll see, my friend. Should be interesting time, though. Shit, John isn't here. Everyone look busy. Shit. Can you wear a Santa hat or has it been invalidated? Mike, the Santa hat has not been invalidated yet, my friend. It has not been invalidated yet. Right? What do we know about the Santa hat, my friend? Okay? On the index, we're taking the index chart. Okay? The Santa hat is valid until we make a lower low on the weekly. As it stands right now, we are safe. The Santa hat is still intact until we break this low, which was 24,000. We'll call it 800. 24,800 was this weekly low. So until we break that weekly low, right? We are Gucci. Okay, we are Gucci, 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 Gucci. Now, what would be annoying is if Bitcoin, let's see, did something like this, right? Then slightly breaks it, and then we're off to the races. Then technically the Santa hat would be invalidated, but this we'll have to come up with a new Santa hat theory. But at the moment, the Santa hat theory is still intact. We have not broken that low. So we are still good here. We are still good. It's almost Christmas again. Isn't that crazy? I feel like last Christmas was not that long ago. I feel like this tree has not been here that long. Yeah, there's still a tree over here, guys, with one ornament on it. Hasn't been plugged in months.
You can't see them.
There's dust all over it. I cough every day. I hit my foot on it every time I pass over here. It's like a kid stepping on toys. No, it's like a dad who goes into their kid's room to tell him something, and he steps on toys, and he's like, "What the fuck?" I hit my toe on this tree every time I pass over here, man. Every time, bro. Ugh. God. Jordan, it's time to put the tree up. Oh, it's good. That's the thing. So when Christmas comes around, it's already up. It's already freaking up. We're ready to rock and roll. We don't got to do any work for Christmas, guys. It's fantastic. Fantastico. It's delicioso. Oh, Lord. Costco had Christmas stuff out last week. Dude, what? It's freaking August. It's 100 degrees. What's the point of having Christmas stuff? What's the next major holiday? Halloween. I mean, it's even early for Halloween.
Oh, they actually have stuff for Halloween.
What? It's 2 months. Who the frick is buying Halloween outfits right now? Besides, the weirdos who wear Halloween outfits every day. You know what I mean? This, you walk around, especially over here, you walk around, you see people wearing freaking Halloween costumes over here every single damn day. Hot as shit, wearing a freaking costume. It's what the hell's going on here? But yeah, I mean, besides that, dude, who the hell is wearing Halloween outfits right now? Couple more months, and you can reuse it. Just got to get some green spray paint. Yeah. Well, it's not a real tree, guys. If it was a real tree, that would be, this thing would be nasty. There'd probably be bugs in it. It would probably stink. Honestly, it would probably fall over at that point. You know. But now you look early like, oh man, you have your tree up already. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, at this point, is it that the tree's up early, or is it the tree is still up? Right? Which one is it? I think at this point, I mean, we're almost September. I think it's the tree is up early. I think you can say that. The tree is up early. So it's no longer like, holy shit, you were just lazy to put the tree away. I think we're getting ahead of the game now. Oh, Lord. Spirit Halloween already open. True. The DXY's dipping. Yeah, man. I mean, right now, like, I mean, we can talk about that. What's the news? I always like to talk about the news sometimes. What's the news on the dollar? Right? What's the news in the world right now? The news in the world is that China's economy is shit in the bed. Japan, same thing. It's kind of the news right now. But, you know, a lot of times with the news, the opposite tends to happen, right? When something gets so obvious, I mean, a lot of times the opposite tends to happen. The dollar probably still could go up a little bit in the short term. But I know now, like, the thing is everyone's expecting the dollar to shoot back up to, you know, 115, something crazy like that. I still think it can come and test these local highs here, like 105.77. I've said this, though. I think at this point, you're looking for the dollar to be range bound. Probably just range bound now, which is fine. Like, you don't need the biggest misconception about the DXY is that you need it to go down for Bitcoin to go up. That's not true. Actually, Bitcoin's biggest runs, you've had the dollar going sideways, not down. It's like we've seen dollar go sideways since December, right? Though Bitcoin had a dump last week, Bitcoin's been in an uptrend this year, right? As the dollar's been sideways, right? When the dollar was going down, actually Bitcoin was still going down, right? So it's not really like that. Some of the biggest runs for the dollar, or for Bitcoin, right? If you look at 2020 and 2021, look, the dollar was going sideways and up, right? If you look at, what is it, 2016, 2017, look, into 2016, Bitcoin was going up. You had the dollar going up. And then 2017, yes, you had it started coming down, but really it was range bound in here, right? So it'll be interesting to see what happens to the dollar here. But the like down here, the news was very bearish on the dollar, right? And then when you start coming up to the highs, that's when the news gets very bullish on the dollar. And it tends to happen as you get the opposite of what the news is talking about, right? So we shall see. So it's wait. BTC bouncing a bit. Yeah, I wouldn't get suckered into one of these green candles in here though, right? I guess for me it's they left this wick here on the 4 hour. It's probably there on the, yeah, they left it on the 1 hour too. So my thinking is, I think they spike it down one more time here. I think they're gonna spike it down one more time here, right? This one kind of baits people getting in. I'm looking for this to spike one more time, spike it down, right? Maybe you spike it down during today. Maybe the Nvidia earnings cause some type of pre-sell-off. People are scared, right? And then we start to make a retrace. One more spike down. It's just my gut feeling. My gut is telling me we get one more spike here. But yeah, that's that. That's that. You're about to FOMO? Bass said, check the downtrend on the 3-day DXY. We're at the top of it. The downtrend on the 3-day DXY. Let's check it out. I'm on the 3-day right here. What are we looking at? The downtrend. Let's see. So let's take it like this. Talking about this, Beth? Oh, shit. Mine, or we probably we'll probably talk about this one.
Can you look at say?
Like this? I mean, hopefully just a little deviation above. But you're not showing a lot of strength here, right? On this breakout. You're kind of seeing like the breakout and then just weakness, right? So hopefully that's just a little bit of a deviation and we start dumping now. But like I said, more than likely, right, there's always the extremes. I think more than likely the dollar kind of just stays in this range right here. Right? I just think that makes sense. Why not just range? Doesn't have to dump. Doesn't have to pump. Just range. You guys know my take that I think that eventually the dollar is going to crumble. I don't think that's now though. I think that's probably a couple of years down the line a little bit. Social said, "Can you look at SCI?" I got you, Social. I got you, man. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Thanks for coming in and hanging out and stopping by, man. SCI, not much I can say about it, right? This is one of the new ones. I guess that's all I really have to say. If the thing is, if there's a new coin and you really like the fundamentals on it, right? New coin plus shiny new fundamentals equals hype. And in crypto, it's all about the damn hype. So I guess my only problem with these new ones is I like to wait for a range to be formed. This one, you don't have the range yet. So I always get a little nervous buying these newer ones that don't have a range because they can just keep bleeding down and you don't know where the bottom is. Like, you don't have any way to gauge where the bottom is. Right? And obviously this one just launched, what, 8 days ago? So it's hard to know where the range low will be, you know? But, I mean, like I said, like, you could take a gamble here, right, and say this is your range. And then if it comes back down to the bottom, 14 cents, you could say, okay, I'll buy it. And then just having a validation point, you can say, okay, if it goes to 13, 80 and closes there, I'll just take the small loss and try to buy back lower. You just have a strategy, right? Because if you buy here and it just keeps bleeding down, then you're kind of just effed, Have a little strategy with this one. But looks like you're trying to build out a little bit of a range, at least at the moment. The bottom is 0, said Boot. Could be. Could be, man. John, have a good day at work, brother. I'll see you later, bro. Nostalgics had made 700 plus from SCI. Did you short it? You probably shorted it. I don't see how you would make that unless you got like the Pico low on this one just now. I want to buy back at 14.2. Yeah, go for it, man. Nice bullish structure. That sends a Wyckoff. Yeah, it's got the Wyckoff. It's got the Wyckoff, man. It's got the one hit, the second hit. I guess for this one, I'd look for something like this. Donk, badonk, badonk. Something like that. Doesn't have to be that extreme. But, right? 1, 2, 3, break the low, bonk. But, hey, maybe this is it. And then we're just going to the moon. Who knows? We'll see. 10:04. All right, guys. I think at the moment we're still kind of waiting to see what Bitcoin's next move is. Like I said, short term. Actually, I mean, really, this you're just in the middle of a range. I think we're gonna get a retrace here. I think Bitcoin's gonna get a bounce from here. The question will be, and this is the big question, and this is the levels I'm gonna be waiting for here, is we're in a weird time at the moment. And I'll say this. Retrace, I'm watching this bull market support band. Okay, that spans from 27.6 to 28.4 on the weekly. Obviously now it's curling down, so as the weeks go down, this is going to move down. But I want to, for this to prove to me at least that it's not going to be a retrace, or it's not just going to be a retrace, it's going to be a move higher. I want to see a weekly close back above the bull market support band, right? The reason why I say that is, look at 2019, right? So we had a big rally. We dumped below the bull market support band. What was the key? You see this retrace? Because we could be something like right here, right at this point, where you see Bitcoin, it got a retrace back up to the bull market support band. wicked above but got rejected, and then one more spike to the low before then getting a bigger bounce, right? Something like this. Rejected, moved down again. That's why right here, since we broke down from there, if any, on any move higher, I got to see it get a weekly close, no wicks, weekly close above that bull market support band. And then I'll be more confident that, okay, that wasn't just a local low, that's probably more of a macro low, and we're going to push up higher, right? Because the key is, we already forget, it's only been 1 week, but we did get that hash ribbons buy signal, okay? We did get that big capitulation sell-off, okay? Now, the question is, on any move up, is it going to be a retrace, or is that the low? That's the big question, and we'll find out, right? But I am expecting a retrace in the short term, so that's it. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy your day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Anything crazy goes on, you know, I'll be in the Discord or whatever to talk about it, so just let me know. But once again, the big thing for today is Nvidia earnings, and then we have Jackson Hole and Powell tomorrow, which I'm not expecting anything different than what he always says. You know, he's going to say the same thing. Just don't get your hopes up of him being bullish, and don't get your hopes up if you're a bear that he's going to say anything different. He's just going to say the same shit that he always says. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Catch you later. Peace out. And don't do anything I do. Don't pay us crypto. Most of all, don't pay us crypto. Most of all, don't pay us crypto 7 months before the halving. Later. Later, Cryptic. Later, your mom. Nostalgic. Wayne. Rico. Hamilton. Oh, Hamilton wants a fart. Hold up. There we go, bro. Blaze. Beth. Oh, my. Later. Later, guys. Peace.